What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic here in the Odd Chopper channel, coming to you with a not so late edition of NBA Liddy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell goes a long way for me on this video, goes a long way for you. That way you become apprised whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. Hopefully you listen to some of the things that I said there from the get-go, because Zach Edey just goes completely ballistic. Of course, Memphis doesn't cover 5.5. Hopefully you didn't combine the two, but overall feel really good about the reads and had no idea that we were going to get Zion ruled out, that we were going to get Evis Missy ruled out. But hey, ended up on Derek Queen over 3.5 assists, and that absolutely smacked. Again, premium Discord, going to be a pretty decent night here. Hopefully from a prize picks perspective, we can get Aaron Wiggins across the board. 18.5 fantasy, scored at least 2x some goodness on a 6-pick card that should have smacked. We stacked up that Pelly's game, and it went completely ballistic. But anywho, that is neither here nor there. We've got a massive slate of games, 9 to get to, 3 plays that I'm going to cover for you right here. Obviously, in the premium Discord, you're going to get everything. You already got everything. I posted, 2 of the plays. One of the plays, I have to wait for some more numbers to roll out. By the time I get done with this video, I fully expect to be able to bet this one. So one of those rare instances where I already have interest in something. I saw a look-ahead number. There's also Polymarket, call sheet, other spots that we can kind of get market indicators of what's going on. Now they're starting to roll out props as well. So lots of great stuff in the prediction market if you're in a state like Texas, wherever, all 50 states. Hawaii, you could be in Hawaii and be freaking kicking it on the beach on a prediction market. That seems like a pretty good situation, that's for sure. But yours truly is going to be in Vegas tomorrow morning. Going to be passing on through. Got to go collect some dollars there from a couple of buddies that we ended up doing some of the super contest stuff together, and just a minimum payout. Got a pretty small number, so a couple $100 to go pick up from them on my way to Colorado, which I'm very excited about. Obviously, I'll still have access to absolutely everything that I want to, so very excited about that. And it's gonna be cold as shit. So, but my Bernese Mountain Dog, he's never seen snow. He's a desert dog there. It just kind of is what it is. We got to take him out there before we have the kid. Well, before my wife has a kid. I'm not having a kid unless I eat too much In-N-Out, in which case or Culver's. Oh, I could use some Culver's in my life right now. When that showed up in the Southwest, wanted to cry with joy. Anyway, speaking of crying with joy, download the Tails app. It would make me so happy. The one thing you could do for me, if you appreciate me, and obviously I'm still going to be doing this show on the road. Yeah, you heard me. I'm going to be on the road. I don't care. I'm going to be betting, so I might as well just turn on the computer and talk you through it. Really, just making the graphics is what sucks. But download the Tails app, friends. Get yourself some goodness in your life. If you have not checked it out, tons of free plays from tons of great experts in sports, like the NHL rocking, college football rocking. We got championship weekend here, and I'm excited for Indiana, Ohio State. How about you? Is there going to be a Heisman one that day? We'll see. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be hard to knock off the Indy QB as is. But anyway, download the Tails app, friends. Get yourself some great information, and obviously in the NBA streets as well, where your boy, through King of the Court, Anthony Edwards, who is the leader heading into the nightcap. That starts in 2 minutes. It is right now just after 11 p.m. Eastern time, 8 p.m. Pacific time. Please check out the Tails app, and if you could, give us a 5-star rating so that we can keep doing this program. That would make my heart happy. You guys ready to rock? Oh yeah, premium Discord too, 50% off a week or a month. Use promo code Lindy when you do. Absolutely love you fellow folks, and obviously love everybody in that premium Discord. We're going to keep rocking and rolling, and well, shit, the NHL plays are absolutely smacking from B-Grebs, J Metal K, everybody getting pick them out early for the people as well. I'm going to be betting in Vegas. I'm going to be betting in Colorado. I'm going to have to drive through Utah. That's going to be a trudge. But anyway, 50% off, friends. Promo code LOGO. Let's get to Z plays. You're probably thinking, oh, why don't you just do the Venmo? Well, you gave people cash and you want to go get lunch. I want to go get lunch, and I'm going to hit golf balls too. But anyway, my Bernese Mountain Dog's probably going to get a picture in front of the Vegas sign tomorrow. Didn't see that one coming. Got to go that way. That way. And it's supposed to snow tomorrow too. Oh, I left that shit, forever ago? 15 years ago? 14 years ago? So cold. Iowa. Great betting state, though. Mobley taking on these Portland Trailblazers. They're on a back-to-back. And I say Mobley mainly because he's the guy I want to highlight here. Chaos is a ladder. I know, Game of Thrones, it didn't end beautifully. And it's probably not going to end beautifully here for a Portland team on the tail end of a back-to-back. And you had Donovan Clingan just kind of play through the sickness, the rumbly and his tumbly. You still have Matisse Thybulle, Drew Holiday, Scoot Henderson waiting in the wings. Scoot probably going to be back in the next month. That's wild to think about. Like, they're talking about maybe right around Christmas being his return date. So I'm kind of excited about that. Oh, yeah. I normally share some of the injury report stuff, but I got to kind of speed it up today. Got to go pack some more stuff because I'm a boy and we wait forever to do that stuff. But Evan Mobley, got to tell you, this is definitely one of those spots where I think him at the 5 could absolutely smack around Portland if Donovan Clingan is either limited or doesn't play. We'll see what that injury report looks like, but Cleveland's 9.5-point favorites. You're going to still have Jarrett Allen out for this one with that finger strain, so he's not going to be back for another week or two. So it's just one of those spots where I think you want to be invested. I will say, from a points perspective, I'm a little bit worried when you have Garland, Mitchell, Hunter. Jalen Tyson is starting to show out. Drop down and get your eagle on, boy. But we got ourselves so many ways to get Evan Mobley with the rebounds, laddering it on up there. But why did Tamani Kamara knock every shot down that I watched tonight? And yeah, Toronto, they're not on the back-to-back here, so we're not going to even deal about that. But Tamani Kamara, best of luck to you. What a wonderful phrase, Tamani Kamara. Let's go to Jokic taking on the Indiana Pacers. I just like highlighting the individual play taking on those, but it's really tough times right now for Denver. They end up losing to Dallas, which is kind of an interesting game. You can see that they're not on your screen right now because they're in the like section, and that's the Phantom play, the one that I haven't technically played yet, but I just need more books to roll out with it. I don't want to post it until like 4 or 5 more books so I can kind of compare the numbers, and I just don't want it to get nuked. We'll get there, I promise. But Indy, plus 7.5. I almost pulled the trigger on this purely because Jay Huff is knocking down shots. Jokic is doing so much on the offensive end, and you could get a Q tag to go against you here if you're backing Denver with Jamal Murray. Q tag. I assume right now that it's close to a 50-50. He sprained his ankle. He came back. It was kind of a weird spot. They end up losing, again, to Dallas, and one guy to talk about from that game, that is for damn sure, and it's not Anthony Davis or Cooper Flagg, who both played pretty decently. Anyway, Andrew Nembhard, Matherin, Jarris Walker, Pascal Siakam, Jay Huff, a rough unit, but 7.5 points with Jamal Murray, I think kind of like a, yeah, that's something to be considering with your lives. Dunks and threes, I will say this, they're like dead on this spread, and I'm just a little bit weirded out by that because I do think Indy should be favored by more than this 7-8 points that they're currently at right now, or sorry, getting less points than the 7.5. 7.5 is a big number to be getting with that Murray tag. Jalen Johnson double-double. I know this seems very strange. Kongwu, Kristaps Porzingis, kind of weird stuff, but Porzingis, another illness situation. If you remember when he was with Boston, and it's weird that like national media hasn't been talking about this again, there's something that happens in the winter to this guy. He gets these random illnesses. I don't know if he's like shaking hands with the devil and do a spit on that thing or whatever, but like, how does he get this sick all the time? I'm actually like genuinely nervous and worried about the guy because this just pops up out of nowhere year after year after year. Now you got a Kongwu who's just smacking around Detroit and ruined everything. By the way, Detroit was up 9 points in that fourth quarter, and it's just so annoying that wasn't even a remotely competitive spread there for us. I am batting 500 on the old spreads, so down about 1.5 units on the course of the season on the spreads. Props, mainly what I do. You probably noticed that, but I feel pretty good about the fact that totals have been profitable overall, and we do have a total on the card here. So yeah, between spreads and between totals, and between money lines, we're still flat on the season, so we need to improve some of that. I got a couple that I feel pretty good about there. From a prop, we're just going to always smack props. So focus on that. Jalen Johnson double-double. If this is going to be inside, now that we know Kristaps Porzingis is already out, this is going to be inside of -150. It's not out yet. I probably add this. I hope Pick'em makes it available because I do think it's an interesting ad there, even against a Clippers team that obviously has size with Collins and Zubats on the interior. We got Cat. New York on a back-to-back. I don't know what to make of this. They played in Boston. Now they go back to the Garden. They take on Charlotte. Charlotte teams are always incentivized when you're in New York. You get a lot of lovely ladies. You get some great food. You get to go out in the city. It's hustling and bustling. Madison Square Garden, the hype train that exists when you show up there. But Charlotte's still 10-point dogs. LaMelo Ball in, but Brandon Miller going to be out again with a shoulder subluxation. That's a real thing that I just said. Trey Mann's out with that ankle for one more game, and that Connaughton. So a little bit of depth that's lacking there. They've had Tejan Salon back in that rotation. I love saying that name, even though he sucks at the basketballs. As for the nipple, we're very happy with the nipple. Over 3.5 threes. That was useful, even though his foot barely on the line. Then today, Derek Queen had 5 assists, and they took 2 away in the first half. Anybody else going a little bit nuts with NBA scorekeepers right now? I know that there's like a new account, and my guy Prop Bomb over on the X great account. Go follow him. One of the few, the proud, the lovely cappers who do great work, and I appreciate. But anyway, Charlotte, it's just a tough one for me to know exactly what we get on that injury report. I just don't think we get Mitchell Robinson playing. That's the main thing. I know he's been playing very, very, very limited minutes, but you have OG Anunoby out for a couple more games with that. What is it? Hamstring? Yeah, it's a hamstring still. Landry Shamet. Damn it. Shamet. I love you. But we got Cat rebound ladder because when Mitchell Robinson is gone, I know he's been playing alongside Hart a lot. Mitchell Robinson off the bench, but basically just Cat getting the 5. And I love rebound ladders against teams like the Hornets, where if they don't roll out, this might actually be a spot where Kalkbrenner, I know he gets to start the rookie there. They're trying to develop a basketball team, even though I don't know how you do it with their current pieces other than the nipple, who's unbelievable. Miles Bridges, LaMelo Ball, obviously good basketball players too, but hasn't worked out for them here in the past. I go to Brooklyn, Chicago. This is a game I have a ton of prop interest in. You get Michael Porter Jr. back in the mix. We saw him last time out talking and singing the praises of his coach. Well, yeah, I'd do it too if I got to shoot any time that I wanted to at any moment's notice. Yeah, it's probably a pretty good situation. Also a good situation for Trey Jones, who I assume ends up getting the start. Last time out, you ended up having Kobe White gets ruled out from the Clouds, and then Kevin Huerter left hamstring strain in the game, and he had been starting there. I would assume who moves into the starting lineup, but now I think Trey Jones makes the most, and Isaac Okoro's still going to be out for this one. I doubt they go to any kind of just have, I would assume we want Michael Porter Jr., Bazelis against Clowney, Booch against Clax. Again, it's positionless basketball in the year of our Lord 2025, but you still have individual assignments. Obviously, Michael Porter Jr. has been creating a little bit more in this role with a new team. Obviously, he wasn't doing a lot of creating when he played alongside Murray and Jokic. It was basically knockdown shots. And now they have Cameron Johnson, who, if he can just knock down shots, not just once or twice a night, or in a blue moon here lately, that would be very useful to them. I'm sure they're looking for positive regression. Oh yeah, Trey Jones, very good in the assist department. Problem is that you play alongside Giddey and Io. They're going to be playing with the ball in their hands a lot, but the main skill set here is Trey Jones. Can he create enough alongside Giddey, and then can they stagger their minutes enough? Because there's not really a ton of minutes there for John Carter. I doubt that they want to go crazy with those minutes, but Io's still somewhat limited. Lots to pay attention to there. They might play some real down and dirty dudes if Dalen Terry can't play. So Emmanuel Miller, Trenton Flowers is a real person I had to look up tonight. It's wild times. Detroit taking on Milwaukee plus 3.5. Again, kind of like Indy. I'm surprised to see 3.5 on the Milwaukee side in a game that Giannis is playing. But Duncan Robinson questionable. Then Kevin Porter Jr., who was going nuclear, then gets dinged up, and then they absolutely choked a chicken in the fourth quarter. Probably could have. Phrasing. That's a real thing. We're doing that, Eric. All right. Detroit Pistons, though, they've been playing on an edge. Obviously, they played awesome to start off the season, but go through some of the individual metrics for this team. Obviously, I'm very impressed by Durant. I'm obviously very, 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 very impressed by what we get from Cade Cunningham, but they're 8th in adjusted net rating, plus 3.1. That's not as good as I thought. In Milwaukee at -2, I get that they're further down the board, but think of how much time Kevin Porter Jr. just missed, who has been a functional piece for them. Think about Giannis Antetokounmpo just missed the last couple. They're still trying to figure it out here, the current construction of the team. And as such, if you get him in, Ryan Rollins has definitely ascended up the ladder over the course of the last few. 2.5 threes plus 140. I ended up staying away. But I will say this, Detroit, they've played some competitive games here against Atlanta. They've been in some dog fights and obviously ended up on the better side of a majority of them on that infinity game win streak. But even though I hate Doc Rivers as a coach, I think Milwaukee, that's a lot of points to be getting here. However, kept it off the card for now because I think props a better way for us to go. A better way for you to go, the Tails app. Check it all out. Got tons of free plays just available to you. Go to the video description box below. There is a nice, lovely new link. Sign up, check it out, download the Tails app, tails.bet, or if you want to check me out, tails.bet/Lindy. Let's get to the play, shall we? Now we begin the good stuff here at the 15-minute mark. Yes, hit that like button for me, as I have stats, I have numbers, I have lots of things that I want to talk about, and I get to talk about them. I have to get this in order. There we go. All right, and boy, San Antonio Spurs taking on the Orlando Magic in this spot, and San Antonio, they're on a back-to-back. That's the first thing really to take note of, and De'Aaron Fox, I mean, they ended up just completely torching my soul just a little bit at the end of that game. It was like a free throw contest, and Zach Edey completely smashed. So if you listen to me and you bet over 26.5 PRA alongside me, or took in the pick and streets over 11.5 rebounds or over 12.5 points, you just smacked. Could not be more right about that individual. Jaren Jackson Jr. was a dunce cap. Worst game you could ever watch Jaren Jackson. He's not even trying out there right now. I don't know if he wants to hit the eject button with Ja Morant. I'm sure he does. Just, I don't know. We should send them like a terrible basketball. Oh, Utah. That'd be a fun place for both of them to live out their days. But San Antonio, I get the pieces around De'Aaron Fox. It's fit pretty darn nicely. You have Harrison Barnes, who went ballistic. He, not every day that you get to analyze a guy that you played basketball against in Ames, Iowa at the Rec. That is yours truly, Harrison Barnes. And I used to run up the Rec there, even though I was at Iowa State. He was at Ames High School. Doug McDermott and Harrison Barnes playing basketball together. It was a cheat code. And Marcus Page was on that AAU team with them. They were the younglings there traveling around Iowa. Unbelievable. They were the number one high school team in the country. And just fun to watch Harrison Barnes go back to his youth. But hope he doesn't play very well here against Orlando. Jalen Suggs, Desmond Bane, Franz Wagner, Tristan Da Silva, Wendell Carter Jr. not on a back-to-back. You can kind of see where I'm heading with this one. I need my revenge up against these San Antonio Spurs. 6.5. I've got this closer to 8.5. I think San Antonio on this back-to-back also has rest candidates. We know Paulo Banchero, close to returning, still going to be out for this one. Mo Wagner, sounds as though the torn ACL, he might be back in January, which I'd be excited about. But Anthony Black's taken a step forward. Goga Patadze, I like as a backup there. Jonathan Isaac, I like as a backup there. There's a number of pieces that are functional NBA players, and more minutes for Jalen Suggs. Great defender, much better on the offensive end here over the course of the last 2 years. EPM looking good over there. Give me the team not on a back-to-back. Usually, that's going to be helpful. Helpful indeed. I gave them like a point bonus there, so 7.5. I have it at 8.5. I think it's worth a point. Usually what I kind of give. I try not to go crazy with it. If it's like 10.5 point spread, sometimes I'll go 1.5, but we can have a conversation about variance there. Sacramento taking on Houston, and Houston does not have a problem when they're 16.5 point favorites. What? Now, they lost to the Jazz as double-digit favorites on the second half of the Jazz back-to-back, but you go to altitude for 2 games. I don't think anybody was going out in Utah, although Salt Lake City, beautiful this time of year, ski country. I'll probably wave to it as I go by tomorrow. I'll be south of Salt Lake. Whatever. You don't give a shit about my travel agenda. I don't either. I care about making you money. And over any long-term sample size, I can do that. I definitely did it in the MLB streets this year. And NBA, these spreads and totals are going to come along for the ride. Totals, we've been a little profitable, been a little down, backing teams over the course of this small sample size that we have, because usually you're going to get like 4 of these tops, 5 of these tops over the course of a video. But back-to-back, you're getting a spread and a total. How does that feel? How does that feel to the people who are in the comment section below who are asking for these such things? Well, I just give you the best play available from every single game. And if I bet it, it goes in the like section. If I don't, it goes in the lean section. It's basically as simple as that. And then the locks, those are the ones that we want to Hulk slam. Wish I had done more of that with Zach Edey. That was a nuke. That was an absolute nuke. Should have nuked it to the knocks in the moon. Shout out the mummy. But Sacramento friends, they're awful in the interior. Awful, awful, awful. They don't have any offense. And you get Russell Westbrook in there. Again, it's Reed Shepherd and Naaman Thompson on the other side. But one of them, very good at the old defense. And Reed Shepherd, he's a tryhard. He's going to be very, very out there, giving it his best. And Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Keegan Murray, I like Keegan Murray as a piece. I do think these 3-and-D guys just have an opportunity to find a home. It's not in Sacramento for him. Get him the hell out of there. Dennis Schroeder, questionable. Malik Monk has looked better, but neither of these teams are really going out of their way to bring that pace, no trouble. 98.2 possessions per 100 possessions for the Houston Rockets. And the Sacramento Kings, boy, oh boy, they are just brutality on the offensive end. In fact, you just go into dunks and threes and you take a look around, take a turn around. 24th in adjusted net rating, 25th in adjusted offensive rating, 25th in adjusted defensive rating, number 1 defensive strength of schedule. And obviously, this is like the second best defensive team. Obviously, nobody's OKC, but Houston is unbelievable on the defensive end behind the 8. And they're going to have more guys coming. Tari Eason, Dorian Finney-Smith is very close to returning. And Steven Adams questionable, although I do think he plays here. That is useful, friends. Let's back it. Let's roll. One more play. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Again, I promise you I'll get a video in, whether it's on the side of the road or just from the hotel there in Colorado, because we're going to book it all the way there as long as weather's good. Safe travels, Eric. Thank you, Eric. Why am I talking to myself in the third person? All right. Miami, 4-point favorites heading to Dallas. First thing I want to make note of. One of the things that in the self-production game, as we have, and I miss producer Jacob, who was absolutely amazing. OGs remember producer Alicia, producer Jordan Klein. Those are my 3 OGs that I've had on this program. And, obviously, Jacob had to go. He's doing Marshawn Lynch's podcast. Am I upset about that? No, I'm excited. He's one of my friends. I'm probably going to check in with him tomorrow now that I'm even thinking about it, because he's in Vegas. But anyway, Miami. My whole point of saying this is that, what is my whole point? Oh, yeah. We've got an interesting situation, kind of a brewing here in the production game, purely because I don't put lean and the like in there. I explain it verbally more than I have in the past. I have a ton of interest in taking the points with Dallas, but I'd rather just wait for the Norman Powell news, because I know I'm going to bet a lot of props throughout the day tomorrow. That's usually what I do. Be doing it at lunch. You're going to be doing it at Vegas. I'm going to be doing it on the drive. I know how I operate, and I operate with Dallas closer to plus 2.5. This is giving me 4. It's right on that cusp. If I was really thin for plays and I was really looking for something else, I don't mind the idea of backing it. Look at this team if PJ Washington is in. Nembhard, who just came alive. Ryan Nembhard, undrafted, probably the best undrafted NBA player since Duncan Robinson, who was magnificent for the Miami Heat, if you recall. Now he's been pretty magnificent when healthy for Detroit. He's questionable entering tomorrow. But Ryan Nembhard, Max Christie, a nice piece that the Lakers just, forewent. Would look better than LeBron at the moment. Hot take. Cooper Flagg, number 1 pick. No doubt about it. Going to be a very good NBA player already, and an incredible defensive player. PJ Washington and Anthony Davis. Now, Nico Harrison's an idiot. You never should have done what he did, but I will say this. I'm surprised to see 4 points when on the other side, Miami is playing at a breakneck pace, 240 total. Davion Mitchell, Tyler Hero, Norman Powell, Andrew Wiggins, Bam Adebayo, but you got a Q tag on Norman Powell. You have a Q tag on Pell Larson. They do get Jaime Jaquez, who has taken a big leap forward this season, but defensively, there's just a lot that Dallas could do matchup-wise that really creates something of substance here going up against Dallas. And as you simulate out this game and you look at the individual pieces and how it all fits together, one thing is explicitly clear. Eric Spoelstra is a great coach, but they have really struggled on the offensive end relative to expectations, or relative to what you would think for the fastest paced team in the NBA. I say that knowing Washington has been the fastest paced team in the NBA in like the Jordan Poole years, and it didn't matter because they were just awful on the offensive end of the floor. I just really think Dallas is a buy low candidate here. Anthony Davis has barely played for this team. Cooper Flagg is really getting his feet offensively. And if Ryan Nembhard brings what he brought to the table, this is the kind of spot. And Davion Mitchell was known for his defense coming out of college, going over to Sacramento, then to Toronto. And now he lands a big role, a much bigger role than anybody expected during that trade with the Miami Heat. But Ryan Nembhard is very feisty. And I love what we saw in that Denver game. 35 plus minutes, I think Jason Kidd has his due. Now, Brandon Williams, a guy who comes off the bench, more of a shot taker there. And D'Angelo Russell at this stage of his career, not going to be just not a winning basketball player. So you play them some limited minutes, you allow them to go inferno off the bench, useful stuff. But I highlighted Ryan Nembhard. The usage was out of control. Do I expect 28 points like we got last time out? Absolutely not. But I expect him to be creating a lot. But the assist line has rolled out. It looks a little bit inflated, and I'm waiting for more books to roll out the 10 plus points. 8.5, the opening number here. I'm all right going to the alt if it's going to be a plus sign in front of it here. I expect usage, I expect minutes, and it's a really good spot with a 240 total for this Dallas team to outperform expectations going forward in the post-Nico era. Ryan Nembhard, 10 plus points. Let's get the heck up out of here. Friends, one more time for the people in the back, download the Tails app down at the video description box below. It's an awesome opportunity for you, especially before Thursday Night Football, before college football over the weekend. We're all going to be betting it. We're all going to be watching it. So check it out. And 15% off, promo code LOGO if you guys want to join the Lindy VIP. Yeah, you know me. We're down with Lindy VIP. Yeah, didn't have the perfect alliteration. It's no Lindy's leans, likes, and locks. How about that shit? And that does it for another edition of NBA Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Head to the comment section below. Let me know your favorite plays on this Wednesday slate. Going to be driving? Hey, if you're in Vegas tomorrow, hit me up. Maybe I'm not going to get coffee. I'll get a beer, but I've got my dog with me, so that. We're going to be on our way in Colorado. I'll be in Colorado tomorrow night, so looking forward to that experience, that's for sure. Follow me on X at Eric Lindquist. Should be some fun stuff to post, but lots of props to get to. I'm going to be diving in a little bit more here tonight before I crash. So I'm going to head to the premium Discord. See you guys there. Until next time, friends, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the NBA streets on Wednesday.